Welcome one more time, everyone. This is Thiago Malena with the Smart Money channel. We're talking about today stock market and cryptocurrency bouncing back from an abrupt sell-off in the end of the last week. And today, Monday morning, markets have just opened for about 25 minutes now. And it seems like it wants to find a bottom. It seems like you want to reverse trend and start to go up again. The markets are on the green. Still very cautious. Investors are still very cautious to piling in new stocks. You see a lot of stocks holding their support, but no new trends developing. I think it's still going to take a couple of days for the markets to find its way to hold support and start creating a bull trend again. We're going to talk a little bit about, of course, a little bit of cryptocurrency and the Metaverse world. A couple of tokens that have been going up exponentially have absolutely pulled back in the last week with everything else, but have found some strong supports and want to re-enter the bullish trend again. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to also talk about crypto.com, which has been skyrocketing lately as well. Okay, but let's start with the stock market. I'm going to start sharing my screen with you guys. A lot of news happened last week. I haven't recorded a video in a couple of weeks, but a lot of happened last week. That's why the stock market and the crypto market have crashed down. Fed came out saying or admitting that their transitory inflation is not so transitory. Inflation is probably going to be here for much longer, as they admitted. We've been talking about this in this channel for a while now. We really don't believe that the inflation was transitory and it was as low as the Fed has been saying. I think they're just trying to calm the market so the markets won't go in a wild, volatile ride. And apparently, with their admission last week, that's exactly what happened. Fed admitting that they will probably have to raise interest rates a lot sooner than they expected, and perhaps a lot more times next year than they expected. And that definitely sent a warning signal to the market and to the investors, and that exactly what effect it had last week with a big pullback. The down going over 3% negative on the day, making it the worst day since COVID. So huge news. We saw the markets drop tremendously. Stocks dropped tremendously. Some broke support. Some were able to hold. We're going to try to pick a couple of stocks here for you guys to take a look as well and see what they did. Those are stocks that we have been tracking in the last few weeks, and that's Tesla, and that's as well Taiwan Semiconductor, AMD, which is another semiconductor, and of course Apple. Okay, let's start by sharing my screen right now, and we will start with the VIX. Here's I'm sorry, not the VIX, but the dollar index. Here is the dollar index, which have also pulled back last week, have held strong support on the 9 moving average. That's the daily moving average of 9. So it has some couple of weeks data in this trend. So it has held back on the dollar, and today it's bouncing back. We see people holding and piling into the dollar, even though the dollar has been devalued due to the amount of money that the Fed has been printing, because other central banks are doing it as well. Other countries are doing the same and are piling in some huge bills to their country. We see people prefer to piling in on the dollar. So here we go. That was the dollar index. So now we're going to start by going with the S&P 500. Here's the S&P 500, which has broken the day support on Friday. It has gone down by almost 2%. On Friday, practically 2%. It was 1.90 something percent. So here we saw a big pullback on S&P, and today up just barely a 1%, which is recovering some of those losses from Friday. Of course, not all of it. You would have to go up a solid amount to be able to cover up the 2% that you lost on Friday. But we're seeing to recover, i.e., most of the losses from Friday, still encountering huge resistance, below the 9 and the 20 moving average, with our moving averages of short-term trend. They are moving average that they study the up to 4 weeks, right? 20 days moving average. It's about 3 to 4 weeks in the market. Markets are only open Monday through Friday, so piling in 20 days of moving averages is 20 days past, so therefore about 4 weeks of data. So there are strong support and resistance trend lines, and ES have broken down below them, and now they are trending towards the resistance that it's formed. What it was previously support, it's now resistance, and unless we pass this 9 and the 20 moving average and it closes above, I would say we are still fighting to recover. We are still fighting to hold this support of about 4550, 4600 on the S&P, and if we cannot hold these levels, we will see it pull it back closer to the 4500, which will be a stronger support. Will be the 50 moving average on the daily charts, which will be a very strong support, and we would hope that it holds between the 50 and the 100 and it doesn't pull back all the way to 20. If it pulls back all the way to 20, we'll see a huge correction in the market, probably as, let me see, 4700 to 4200. We would see about like 12-13% correction in the market. That would be huge. That would be practically the same correction we had in the beginning of the year, and that would put a damper on everybody's expectation of a Christmas rally this year. So it came a little unexpected. That Friday, it was one of the very few Black Fridays that the market has tanked so much, if it ever did. I think I remember seeing some news saying that a couple of the indexes have never seen a Friday like that ever, and that was huge. So it's still taking some time to recoup. Today is definitely going to take more strength and more belief from investors in the market that the fears of that disease that's going around, and a variant that is being found, it's indeed not so harmful, and it's not going to be such a big threat as some have been expecting it to be. So let's hope that that's the case. We don't need any more lockdowns. I think the world has already suffered enough with this disease and with all of the measurements that governments have had around the world, that instead of helping people, in my opinion, have absolutely made people's lives worse, right? But anyways, that's just personal opinion. But let's hope that we don't go into another fear-mongering news that we're going to start shutting down the economy in the world. It's going to suffer, because we will see markets tanking if that's the rhetoric happening around the world, and especially in the US. So here's S&P 500 after suffering a loss, trying to recover. Let's see what it holds for us on the weekly chart real quick. I'm gonna try to do this live quick, at the most half an hour. Try to really narrow down our focus and get things done quickly. So here we go. S&P on the weekly moving average. Beautiful pullback up to the 9 moving average, holding that 9 moving average beautifully. He has tested the 20 for a few weeks back here, just about a month ago or two, but now we're seeing it find new highs, pull back last week and holding support. Let's hope that this trend is intact and stays intact, and from this week on it's able to at least hold what's having now, and then therefore continue to move on the green from next week on, delivering us some nice Christmas rally. So looking good still on the weekly chart. No support, no major support broken. So I think the trend still intact on the S&P 500, at least on the weekly chart. Okay. So let's check out real quick. I like to check the Nasdaq as well, which is the mostly tech stocks, biotech, and it's heavily weighted with tech, of course, and communications, but important index to be taking a look at. So we'll go with the Nasdaq real quick. Have lost its 9 and 20 moving average last Friday. Has recouped today. It's right now just right above the 9 and the 20 moving average, which is a huge sign of recuperation. We'll hope it closes where it's at right now. It's still a long day ahead, still many hours ahead of us, but let's hope it keeps developing like this. Hold this support, really strong support. It has been support before around the $16,000. You know, it has bounced back from that 16,000 again, gone up to 16,286, just about 1.5% positive on the day, which means that it's really trying hard to fight back the support and regain a bullish trend. It continue its bullish trend. It's definitely not broken yet. The bullish trend, look at the weekly chart, still also holding above the 9 moving average, just like the S&P 500. It's hit the 9 moving average last week and it bounced right back. Let's hope it stays like this. It finds strength to keep on moving forward, keep on moving bullish. That's what we want. Okay. One index that has got punch in the chin last week is the Russell 2000. Why am I talking about the Russell 2000? Important index that has a 2000 of the smaller caps. They're absolutely mostly American companies that do business mainly in America. So the backbone of America here has definitely taken a huge punch last week. Look how much it's gone down. We went down, I think, 4% almost on the day, and then it closed a little bit less than 4% negative on the day, but it's definitely taking a punch on the chin. I mean, look at this. Absolutely amazing, the punch that Russell 2000 took. It broke all moving averages on the daily. It had already broken the 9 and the 20. It was already in a short-term downtrend, and then it just broke the 50, the 100, and the 200, which are longer, stronger supports in this case, because it was running above those lines, so therefore it was support in this case. But it has trying to recover ever since. It did have a good uptick overnight and this morning, but has now sold off a little bit of its gains today. So it has decreased how much it has recouped from last Friday. It still has a long way to recoup all the losses from last week, but it's trying to work its way up. It's trying to regain support, or is trying to regain and break above this resistance that is formed on the 200 and the 100 moving average, and is finding a hard time to do so, even though it's up only 0.5% of the day. It was up at some point a little over 1% on the Russell 2000. but it has ever since given back half of its gains today, and it's holding below this the 100 and the 200 moving average, which shows some weakness on the Russell 2000, but it's still trying to fight strong to stay on the support level at least and hold this $2,200 mark. As you can see here, I'm gonna try to zoom in a little bit more on the weekly charts for you of the Russell 2000. Okay, let me see here if I'm able to do this. All right, perfect. It's coming. There you go, beautifully. So you see on the weekly chart for the last 3 weeks, it has taken on the chin. You know, it was an undecided candle up here. Was it going to continue running or not? It did not run the week prior to last. It touched the 9 moving average. Strong support. Was not able to hold last week. It crashing down, breaking all moving average, 9, 20, and 50 moving average. The 50 here is what really worries me on the weekly chart. If we continue to see a downtrend from the 50, we'll probably see the Russell 2000 come down and test these levels of support around the $2,000, and that would be another 10% down on the Russell 2000. It would not be fun. The Russell 2000 take another punch like this. You know, you would be almost 20% from the top. So I think it would be hitting the bear market line right there of the 20% down. But it still is trying to hold, you know, it opening the week above the 50 moving average and showing us that it's trying to stay strong and keep this momentum at least. And let's hope he does, because if he does lose this momentum and start breaking below this moving average of 50 and the close of last week, that means probably more volatility to the Russell 2000 index, which wouldn't be so fun for those that have stocks that belong to that index. So that was it real quick. Since we are already here, see if we can check out the VIX real quick. The VIX, which is the fear index, that's what shows us how fearful investors are in the market and how pricey has options become. Definitely spiked tremendously last week with the crash in the market that we had on Friday. Look at that. That is some insane candle. I don't know why there's 2 candles like that. Was it Wednesday and Thursday? Wow, interesting. I don't remember seeing 2 candles here when I looked at this chart a little earlier. But maybe those were 2 candles. They're too similar. I don't know. It feels like there's something wrong in the market here. Let me see. This is 11/25, and this is 11/26. So it was Thursday and Friday of last week. Then perhaps we're seeing a huge spike on the VIX going all the way up to 27. It was on the higher teens, you know, barely touching the 20. And then just all of a sudden skyrocketed almost 30%, going from 20 to 27. And then now today we're seeing the VIX come down quite substantially, you know, to the 22 house there, and showing us that volatility has subsided for the moment. Let's see how this week will develop. It's still Monday, early Monday. Still have a lot to go this week. Let's see what the rhetoric is in the news this week and how the markets will develop. So this is the major indexes in the US. We're going to also check, of course, Bitcoin and Ethereum soon. I'm going to check on the futures charts on the Bitcoin. So Bitcoin futures have had a big Friday sell-off, has recovering now. It's about 5.36% up on the day, today Monday. It has gone up a little bit more than that, but has ever since, taking some of this recovery from the table and still holding the 50 moving average on the daily chart, which is important, still holding this important support of $55,000. It's not being able to go above the 9 moving average over here. It has temporarily climbed up above the 9 moving average, but has since giving some of its gain back, like I said, and showing us that it's trying to hold the strong support, but it's not finding a lot of strength to break it and run again and create a new pivot high and create an inverted candle. It has not done that yet. It has just literally starting to kind of consolidate sideways since last week. Let's hope that stay developing like this. Perhaps we can have another couple of days of consolidation before it start trending higher again. We cannot see it break below 55,000 and close below 55,000 because I think that would give us more volatility, and perhaps we'll see the price of Bitcoin be sent down to like $50,000, maybe $49,000, and that would be some definitely tough times on the road, and you would put a delay on Bitcoin regaining its uptrend again and regaining its bullishness. So here's Bitcoin trying to up, got sold. TSM, all right, c'est la vie. Sell it, baby. I got in today, already getting sold off. Let's take a look at it later. Okay, so here was Bitcoin trying to hold its support line right here. Let's see on the weekly chart. Good development on the weekly chart. It has broken below the 9 moving average on the weekly chart, but it has this week regained the 9 moving average. Is closing, or it's still trending now right above. Let's hope this green candle holds and stays green, even if it's an inside candle this week would be better than continue to see a downtrend on the weekly. And if we see an inside candle this week, possibilities of the next week candle break above this resistance and start trending higher above 60,000, it's very strong. So let's hope for that on the Bitcoin. Otherwise, we will see Bitcoin hit, like I said, $50,000, which would be the next level of support after the 55,000 breakdown. Okay, so that was Bitcoin. Real quick, let's check ETH. ETH real quick, 23 minutes. Oh my goodness, it's so hard to make quick videos. There's so much to talk about. But here you go. ETH, Ethereum, daily chart, futures market graphic or chart. We are seeing it hit resistance of 4,400 again. Ethereum, in my opinion, developing and holding the support much better than Bitcoin. It had been consolidating for many days prior to that sell-off last week, which didn't even break the 50 moving average on the daily chart, which is a great strong support signal. So that means that Ethereum is still healthy and still in an uptrend. It has just since pulled back from the all-time highs, consolidated, and I believe that as soon as we break this 20 moving average here of 4,400 and we can have one close above and the 9 start trending up again, we'll see the 9 cross over the 20 and perhaps Ethereum bringing us to new all-time highs and resuming its bullish trend, its bullish market. Okay, so that was Ethereum at 43.57 right now. Nice, strong, bullish candle today. Let's hope it holds 6.5% on the day. That's a pretty good gain for Ethereum. And here's the weekly chart. last week. It tested right below, which was the low of the previous week of 39.40. It was able to hold strongly. It closes right at the 9 last week, and today, this week, opening up, gapping up above support and breaking above the beginning of last week, right? So the beginning of last week, which was pretty close to the end of the previous week, around the 42.70, we have already surpassed that threshold, and we seem to be continue to trend higher on Ethereum on the longer term chart of the weekly chart. So pretty good case for Ethereum, most than Bitcoin itself. And let's check here like some graphics, some charts of some stocks we've been tracking and waiting for some better setups to develop for better opportunities of entry. I already dipped my feet in the water today, bought a few shares on a few positions. I entered a few positions this morning when the market opened. Apple was one of them. I still want to see this develop again, going back uptrend. It has pulled back on Friday like everything else. On Wednesday, when a lot of things were already starting to kind of slide, it was able to hold. But on Friday, unfortunately, it did not hold this support and this bullish. No, it wasn't really a flag. It was more like a high base, but you broke down this bullish high base, and it came to test the 9 moving average. It has now recovered since tested the 9, and it's showing us that it wants to really hold this bullish trend. It has formed a new high, have come down to make a new higher low and test old support, which is, old resistance, and trying to form new support over here. Perhaps we'll see 1 or 2 days of consolidation over here before it start trending up on Apple. So here's Apple. I entered with a smaller position, of course. I'm not stupid to enter a big position without much confirmation, but I also didn't want to wait a rip higher on the market in case a much stronger bullish trend would come in this week, which sincerely I don't think it will happen. I don't think we're going to see that much momentum upwards this week. I think there's still a lot of caution in the market, but I think some stocks will continue its trends. It has not broken its trends, so there's no reason for Apple to be selling off over here unless the whole market does so. So here it was Apple, AMD. Look at this beautiful bullish uptrend it's having lately as well. Semiconductors had been beat up for a while and had been going sideways for a while as well for the last few months with all these problems we were having with logistics and semiconductors being unable to deliver all the demand that he had from the markets for semiconductors, you know. So then AMD started really ripping higher, you know, starting on, that was like September and end of September, and it broke resistance, and look what it did. It just ripped higher and still holding a good let me just take the squares because that's what I was trying to predict with them. It was, I'm not gonna take all of them because I will keep this from the uptrend. Okay, let me see here. Let me just take the squares out, remove drawing so you guys can see a little clearer. Oh shoots, 37.20. Okay. All right, good. So you can see a beautiful bullish uptrend forming new high, new higher high, new lower high, or higher low, and then again new higher high, formed a new higher low, and is trying to break this resistance here and come form a new high, all-time high, and then eventually come back to test it and form a new higher low. So that's another position that I entered in a small position here today, because it looks like it is trying to break out. I just want to anticipate a tiny bit and just want to dip my feet in the water and be a little bit exposed to AMD in case that is the continuation of this trend. For those that track Coinbase, which can be a good mirror to the Bitcoin world and Ethereum world, here it is. It's still trying to find its trend back, and I will not enter another position until it breaks the 9 MA above. It will probably break, come hit the 20, come test the 9 again, and then rip higher. So I'm not entering right now. I'm not anticipating. Not much happening in Bitcoin, even though it hasn't breaking the long-term bullish trend. Temporarily in the short term, it's still trying to find its footing. So I'm not gonna enter this position until I see Bitcoin ripping higher and breaking new resistance and creating a new bullish trend on the short term, because in the longer term it's still in a bullish trend. But then Coinbase, definitely one of the stocks that we'll be looking at. As you can see, it's coming along with a very longer term resistance right here. So we're gonna wait until it breaks above this 315 to give us any news. Let's put a little alert so the computer will let us know. What the heck is this? Let me see here. I don't know what happened there. Why is it not opening up my? No, just gonna create an alert, dude. It's gonna. Oh, there you go. We are creating an alert above. Let's put 320. Yeah. Unless you break 320, we're not doing anything with that. Perfect. When you hit 320, then you can alert us and we'll see what's going on. Now, like I said, here's Tesla, which is a good position I entered early today. I entered around $11.08, which was breaking the resistance of the 20. It's already 11.25 right now, so I should be having a little decent profit on the long calls I've bought. Beautiful trend on Tesla. It has, since it hit all-time high of 1243, has taken in the chin, came down to 1,000 to test previous support, and it's ever since trying to recover the uptrend. It's still in a bullish trend. It took in on the chin last week as well, not as bad as some other stocks, and today is recovering, coming above the 9 and the 20 moving average on the daily and holding strong, holding the gains strong. You opened 2% up on the day. It's already gained another 2%. So fantastic. Let's hope that Tesla continues to move up this way. My first target on Tesla, it's near the $1,200. It will, of course, comes first here around the 1170, 1160, and then as soon as you break this first target, you will likely come to touch the 1200, which will be the next target for me. So pretty good trend on Tesla. Let's see here real quick on the weekly. Look at the weekly. Beautiful uptrend, pulled back, consolidating for a few weeks here and again, but always trending higher on the lows. You see the 9 moving average on the weekly continue to trend higher. That's a strong bullish signal for Tesla. We're in it again. We've made some money 2 weeks back. Went on to break even last week, and we are already trending a little higher today, which is giving us a little bit of a profit for now, but let's hope this trend holds and it continues to trend higher. So there you go, Tesla and TSM, Taiwan Semiconductors, which I have gone into today. I wanted to anticipate a little bit of this trend. I've got stopped out for now. I got in right above this 20 moving average. It hit the 9, rejected. It came down. It got me off already, and it's testing support. But let's hope that it will trend back higher so we can re-enter this position. Taiwan Semiconductor can be a very good swing trading company to trade. That's mostly what I do with Taiwan Semiconductor. I don't trade it very oftenly, but after this strong pullback it had last week, I was expecting it to give us some nice 2, 3, 4 days candle again, green candles, and that will be a good chunk of money to be made on 3 or 4 days of such big up runs on Taiwan Semiconductor. It did not happen. It actually triggered me out after maybe half an hour have I entered the position. That's the thing with entering positions too early on the day. The early days or the early hours in the day can be a little too volatile, and you can be triggered in and triggered out in the same position within the first half an hour of the day. So sometimes it is nice if you want be a little more conservative and wait for the volatility of the market subside in the morning and calm down, and then eventually find its intraday trends and get in. But I was not afraid, but I was thinking that we could have had a pretty big rip high today and have stocks completely erasing the drawdown that they had on Friday, and it would be a good day to make some money on upper bullish trends. It's happening some, not happening all stocks, of course, but we'll continue to track this stocks. And for last, real quick, Nvidia, which is also in the same industry, semiconductors, but it's also a huge important company for the metaverse world. It does provide microchips for all of these companies that are building the metaverse world. So here it is, other than, of course, some other industries like autonomous cars or electric vehicles and electronics, of course, and so. So still in a big, bullish, beautiful uptrend. Look how much it's trended higher. It, rejected this all-time high here, retraced down to the 9 moving average to catch up with the 9. Then it ripped higher again, finding new all-time highs, and then with the whole market last week has since pulled back. It's on the green today at a little over 2%. It's kind of still an inside candle, so it hasn't gone above the highs from Friday, it hasn't gone below the lows from Friday, and as long as it stays within this range of the high and the lows of last Friday, it's a good signal. It's at least a signal that the trend hasn't been broken down again, and it will test new lower lows. But let's hope that at some point this week it breaks above the 330 and show us that it wants to continue on its bullish trend and wants to find new higher highs. Okay. So look at this, going up 17% today. MRRDF, it's a mining sector, European mining company. Look at this. It was 78 cents, now it's 97 cents. Why are these companies trending up? Inflation. Commodities price rise up with inflation. So you see all these mining companies that mine commodities going up Good company to be in. I am not in this company, but I have been tracking. Should have bought some over here because look where it's at today, but not the case. I did not get in, but I'm still tracking what I have gone in, which is a lithium company. I think it's very interesting for you guys to check it out. Do your own due diligence, of course, your own investigation, study in these companies before you put any money. I'm not here giving you signal to enter or sell. Just showing you some good opportunities in the market. I've made good money with this company, which is a lithium company, one of the cleanest lithium miners in the world, LLKKF, Lake Resources. I have entered about 15,000 shares over here. I sold it down here, got triggered out on my shares. I didn't make all the money I could have made it because I didn't sell off the top. I waited until it broke the support to sell it, put a limit order to enter the position again because I figured you would eventually come and find a bottom, retrace, and then we'll continue to rip higher because I believe in the longer term trend of this company and the industry itself. So as soon as it came down on Friday, I got filled in my order to buy another 10,000 shares of Lake Resources right here, and it filled by itself. It was beautiful. I just got a text on my phone. It filled with 10,000 shares, and what happened? It filled in on Friday. Look, and it already closed on positive on my position on Friday, and this is what I like to see. It tests support and bounce right back and bounce with me in it. That's the best part of it. So it's still here, still kind of crunching in between the 9 and the 50. So there's still some risk of coming down to 46 cents. If it does come down to 46 cents again, I will be buying some more because I believe it might come down to this upward support and hit higher. For lithium, it's more and more demanded in the world, especially with the huge electric vehicle push that all countries are having, especially the United States over here. And we'll see lithium demands and lithium prices higher, and I expect Lake Resources to be one of these companies benefiting from it. So here's a good opportunity for you to take a look, investigate, do your own research, and see if it's a good fit for your portfolio. Remembering that I am not a stock advisor, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm here just simply for education purposes and entertainment only, and analysis from this, from the market and from individual stocks and cryptocurrency as well, which is what we will be digging in next. I will close this to make it easier and quicker for me to move on to the next charts. Oh my gosh, from 30 minutes on the live, it's been already 43. Let's hurry up and see what's going on in the crypto world. So here we go. Here's CoinMarketCap. For those who don't know, it's a great website where you can track all the coins or most of the coins in the market. And it's easy to start seeing, you know, the biggest gainers on the day, what's trending. Comstar, it's trending. Holy Jesus, I do have Comstar, to be honest. It was one of the shit coins I threw a little bit of. I sparked a little bit of juice in there to see if it popped. I'm down the position. It's a very small position. It's a gamble position in a way. So it's a tiny bit percentage of my portfolio. I think maybe 1% or so. It's money that would be that I'm willing to lose anyways. I was, of course, expecting to make money, but it was a position size that I was okay with, even though if you went to zero, I'll be okay losing that small amount of money on my portfolio. So Bitcoin, 475% on the day. It has reached out to 5,800, has not been able to hold it. It's down now to just below 57,000. Not great for Bitcoin. That is kind of not holding the 57 something, 58. It's giving some back. It still needs to find strength. I showed the futures market on Bitcoin, and it's still down the last 7 days. Ethereum making a little bit more. Bitcoin is down 188% on the 7 days, but Ethereum is up 198. So like I said, Ethereum performing better than Bitcoin lately, with a lot more upside than Bitcoin in my opinion. Binance Smart Chain 6% up on the week, 4% practically today up today, which is great news. Solana 824 up on the day, but still down 7% on the week. Still finding a hard time keeping up Solana. Cardano has fell from the skies. It hit $1.48. Hold support, still holding support up on the day, but down hugely on the week. 14% almost down the last 7 days. XRP, I don't even like to talk about XRP, whatever. Polkadot up on the day, down the week. Doge up on the day, down the week. Avalanche up on the day, down the week. Hugely, 20%. You had a huge up run on Avalanche. Blockchain is up today, down big on the last 7 days. Shiba Inu not going anywhere. I see people trying to pump Shiba out there on other channels, and I think it's absolutely crazy. That doesn't mean I don't think it can continue to go up. I think it can, but I think people are just trying to give any excuse for a bullish uptick again, and I think it's going to take a lot more than just rhetoric in the market to get Shiba to keep moving higher, just like Doge. So crypto.com getting up. It has definitely come down quite substantially from its top. It lost some numbers on the rank, but absolutely still here at 1.2% up on the day, just slightly down for the week. We'll take a look at the crypto chart as well. So really quick, we already seeing Bitcoin and Ethereum, but here that's from all of my drawings from my Portuguese channel, my Brazilian channel about cryptocurrency. I drew all this lower highs and lower lows from Bitcoin, and here it is hitting the resistance over here, and we need to see this break above, bounce back on the 9, and then eventually break above the 9 for us to see an regain of bullish trend. So Bitcoin dominance against the altcoins, it has gone up in the last few days, but it's still consolidating, going sideways. It's not being able to get much traction on the altcoins. Then again, Ethereum, like I said, much better trend than Bitcoin, holding above the 9 MA, strong bullish signal. It's showing us that it still has momentum and still had backers holding Ethereum and now letting Ethereum fall down from where it's at. So we're gonna talk, like I said, real quick about Mana, which is from the cryptoverse world, gaming, virtual reality, ripping higher. It's on down today, but in a beautiful bullish uptrend. Then let me see, ENJ, another game. Like I said, I was going to talk about. I'm not going to talk a whole lot. We're just going to look at the chart because the live is going beyond what I expected. So here, testing support. Let's hope it holds the 360. Otherwise, it's going to come down to 320. If it holds, we can continue to see this going up higher. It's not going to go higher like it has here. I don't think it's just going to bounce back and just shoot straight higher. I think the whole markets now, whether it's the stock market or the cryptocurrency market, needs a few days to figure out what direction is going and how much fear there is and how much risk there is in the market going forward for it to start finding new strength and continue to trend much higher. And then for last, we're gonna check Crow, which is crypto.com, like I said, going higher and higher and higher. It has hit $1.20 in a liquidation event. It happened on Saturday, it looks like, but it had hit a new all-time highs last week on 98 cents. It since pulled back to 68, forming a support around 68 cents. It trended higher on the weekend, came down, wasn't able to hold, and just like a lot of cryptocurrencies today, it's kind of down on the zero or just a very small amount of loss today, and it's trying to find its footing in the market again and try to wait to see how investors feel about this news that are coming out from the Fed and from this variant that it's scaring some parts of the world, and I think that will play out in the markets in the next few days to few weeks. So I'm bullish on the market, but with caution, remembering that it's nice to keep an ear on the news, and most of the news that I think could rattle this market again are regarding the new variant from the disease that's going out around the world now, and the fear of countries having to lock down and shut down again. I think that would send markets tumble. But thank you very much one more time. If you like our content, don't forget to leave a thumb up or a like before you leave. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell button so you get notification when we go live or when we update new content. Sorry, sometimes it gets a little tricky for me. I have two channels, one in Portuguese, one in English, and I just finished recording some videos in Portuguese, so sometimes I'm gonna speak and then Portuguese wants to come out of my mouth, but I'm doing this live in English, so sometimes I get a little confused for having to do it in two different languages. But hey, it keeps me up, you know, it keeps me on my toes. So here we go. Thanks for coming, thanks for sharing. Share this video or this channel with a friend or two that you think might be interested in entering the stock market or the crypto world, or start learning more about how to invest in these markets, okay? Great news. Have a great week, everyone, and I will see you guys again soon.